All right, brethren, good evening to you. Hopefully, you just watched the video about the Maryland Masonic Academy and how to join and how to enroll in the courses and things like that. And this video is about the honor societies that the Maryland Masonic Academy has to offer. Now, there are two honor societies that the Maryland Masonic Academy has to offer. The first of these is the Hiram Guild, and it's open to all. And the second is the King Solomon Society, which is only open to worshipful masters and past masters. Hey, brethren, I want to let you know that before this video continues any further, I made a mistake. I originally said that the King Solomon Society is open to past masters and worshipful masters. Unfortunately, it's not. It's only open to past masters. So you worshipful masters that may be sitting in your second year and you haven't been relieved yet, you're still technically a past master, so you can join the King Solomon Society. But for you worshipful masters, where this is the first time that you're sitting in the East and you haven't gotten that year yet, let us know as soon as you do, because we'd love for you to join us. Until then, stay fervent. So let's go ahead and get into the requirements for each one of those. The Hiram Guild, which is open to all, is composed of three different components: the entered apprentice, the journeyman of the guild, and the master of the guild. Once all three of these sections have been completed, you will have been able to have earned the right to be called a member of the Hiram Guild. The way you do that is by not only completing the requirements, but there's also an induction fee of $100, which afterwards you will receive a jewel and a certificate, which you can wear on your tuxedos or wherever else. And it's actually a very, very nice certificate that you get to have along with the jewel. So let's talk about the requirements. The first one is the apprentice, which asks for you to complete, sort of, both of the courses that are offered by the Maryland Masonic Academy with a slight change, and we'll get to that in just a moment. The Fellow of the Craft remains exactly the same. You get to do the Entered Apprentice, the Fellow Craft, and the Master Mason manuals. You earn an 80%, and you get your certificate for that, and that's awesome. The next is the Pillar of the Craft. Now, if you remember from the last video, the Pillar of the Craft had two parts to it. It had an online presentation and an arch presentation. An online portion and the arch presentation. If you wish to become a member of the Hiram Guild, we are not asking for you to complete the arch presentation. You must still complete the online presentation, the 6 books that you have to read, and get a 90% better to pass, but you do not have to complete the arch presentation. It's optional, and I highly encourage you to do it. However, it's not a requirement. However, if you do not do the arch presentation, you have not technically fulfilled the Pillar of the Craft course. So therefore, unfortunately, even though you're a member of the Hiram Guild having completed the requirements, or at least those part of the requirements, you will not receive a Pillar of the Craft patent until you have completed the arch presentation. So just keep that in mind. For me, if you're gonna do the Fellow of the Craft and you're gonna do the online portion of the Pillar of the Craft, it kind of makes sense just to go ahead and do the arch presentation also. But the Hiram Guild was specifically designed for those people that were not necessarily going to become worshipful masters or past masters. And I think that when they created it, and they have confirmed this. There are some people that are just absolutely deathly afraid of speaking in front of lodges. So instead of giving the arch presentation in which you have to speak in front of your lodge, they offered the Journeyman of the Guild. This is the replacement idea-ish for the arch presentation. The Journeyman of the Guild, you're required to write a paper about the 7 liberal arts and sciences. It must be between 1,200 and 1,500 words and submitted to the Maryland Masonic Academy for approval. You will be assigned a mentor from the Maryland Masonic Academy to help you in the writing of this paper and the research that we're asking for you to do. In this paper, we're asking for you to write and express the meaning, the influence, and the interpretation in the life of you, in your life, in the life of you, in your life, about the 7 liberal arts and sciences. So it's a very good paper, one that you get to do and not stand in front of the lodge, but still continue to do kind of like, I did the research for the 7 liberal arts and sciences and I wrote this really nice paper, or I did all the research to do the arch presentation and I gave the presentation. Basically, the only difference is that one is public speaking and one isn't public speaking. But again, remember that if you're going to join, if you're going to join the Hiram Guild, you don't have to do the arch presentation. but you're not going to receive the certificate for the Pillar of the Craft because you have not completed the requirements. The last part for the Hiram Guild, which is written specifically to kind of equate to those people that wish to become a member of the Honor Society, but show the same amount of time invested as what men who become worshipful masters do. So this requirement is incredibly intensive, and it's an acts of service project. And what we're asking for you to do is spend 3 hours per week for about 3 years in service to your community. Because if that's typically about this amount of time, 3 years and 3 hours a week that a man spends in preparation for becoming a worshipful master. So now this does not necessarily mean that it has to be from this starting point today for 3 years, so you can't join the Hiram Guild for 3 years. If you have spent that time, if you're a Boy Scout leader and you're doing community service that way, you help out with your church, if you humane societies, cold weather shelters, giving back to the community, giving back significant amounts of time to the community, which would equate to the amount of time that it takes to be a worshipful master. This is not a one and done option. It's not like, oh, hey, I set one thing up and we spent X amount of time. That's not what we're looking for. It's over the course of the years, just like it takes for a brother to, over the course of the years, to become a worshipful master. So when you do try to begin with the Hiram Guild and you've written your paper and all that other stuff, with your assigned mentor, you will go over the requirements for that community service project, and they will help guide you along to fulfill those requirements. So don't think that it's all on you necessarily. It's not. The mentor will help guide and make sure that everything's taken care of. Okay. The other part, the other honor society that the Maryland Masonic Academy offers is the King Solomon Society, which is only open to worshipful masters and past masters. You must complete the Fellow of the Craft course. You must complete, and we'll go through that, complete all of that, and you'll receive your patent just like you would if you had done it any other way. The Pillar of the Craft course, which you must, as you can see, give the arch presentation, and because you have completed the requirements for the Pillar of the Craft, you will receive your certificate for that too. But the last requirement is for the Master of the Craft. You must serve 1 year as a worshipful master, having attended the law schools and the leadership conferences additionally. You have to be there. So if for some reason, like something happened, you're a senior warden and you kind of get thrown in, and you've been sitting as a worshipful master, but you haven't attended the law schools, or someone sitting in because maybe the worshipful master has passed away, or goodness gracious knows why, you have to have attended law school and the leadership conferences also. So please keep that in mind, that that's part of the requirement. Now, just like the Hiram Guild, you have to complete all 3 sections, and you will have been able to earn the title of King Solomon Society member. In order to become a member, there is a cost of induction, which is $150. All of the requirements and payments must be made by September 1, just like for the Hiram Guild, because you will also receive a jewel and a certificate. And it's, again, a very nice certificate and a very nice jewel, which you get to hang on your tuxedo and wear as long as you're a member. So it's very nice. Mine are around here. They're actually on my tuxedo as I'm getting ready for installation. But when you decide to become a member of the honor societies, we do have an induction dinner in October, which we invite all of the members of both societies to come and join, and we present you then. It's a fantastic dinner. It's beautiful. And we're really excited to have that. So hopefully you guys are kind of finishing up this video with me, and you're kind of like, either it's a lot of information, go back, look at the other video, and start your Fellow of the Craft and the Pillar of the Craft. And when you get that done, let's talk about joining the Honor Society. But what I want you to do right now is I want you to go to the online portal, which I will link below. I want you to sign up, and I want you to start the process. I want to see you, as my brothers, continue your quest for further enlightenment in Masonry. And if there's anything that we can do, not only as brothers, but as the Maryland Masonic Academy, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. You can find us at marylandmasonicacademy@gmail.com. We'll be happy to get back with you. And until next time, guys, stay fervent.